guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited Live. This is episode number 3 under the new format of our live streaming show, and we're here to talk about everything Elimination Chamber. Sorry, we're starting almost 20 minutes late. I had a couple technical difficulties. I apologize. But let's talk Elimination Chamber. We posted at the beginning of the pay-per-view, we posted a video of the odds. Every odds maker had it right. So that was a very interesting thing. Let's see who's there in the chat. We got Daniel Hernandez, Famous J, Sarah Small, No Laura, Ryan Begrandy. Got a lot of the regulars here. But, Ryan, I responded to your message. We've got Merc, Bella, Dominia. Sorry if I said that wrong. Who else we got here? Alright. Joe Herman, glad to see you. War and Uprising. DeAndre Dukes. Before we get started, I do want to say, again, thank you to everybody who is here live. If you would like to help the show out and donate, you can hit the Super Chat button in the link. Actually, it's not in the link. It's in the chat below, the Super Chat button. Help us out so much if you can donate. And also, if you would like to get your very own Pro Wrestling Unlimited t-shirt, you go to our TeePublic store, which there is a link in the description, and you can get your very own Pro Wrestling Unlimited t-shirt. And they're still running the same offer they were running earlier this week. If you use the promo code CoolCat25, you can get 25% off your full order. Remember, all the Pro Wrestling Unlimited t-shirts are sold on teepublic.com, and they ship worldwide. Now, before we get started, I'm going to answer a couple questions here in the chat. One from Daniel Hernandez. He says, why do you think they gave Naomi the championship? And that's simple. Where is WrestleMania? Orlando, Florida. Where is Naomi from? Orlando, Florida. So they gave Naomi the championship so she can be the hometown girl. But think about it. What does WWE do with people in their hometowns? They usually lose. I mean, Hell in a Cell, Sasha Banks, Boston. She lost to Charlotte in her hometown. Excuse me. WZRD Mike says, do you like the way the chamber looked? It was alright. It was different. The one thing I noticed, you couldn't tell this before the match started, but once the cameras were inside the chamber and we saw more of it, around the ringside area, where usually it's just the chain, it was all padded. So they made this chamber, it was bigger. The pods were a tiny bit smaller. If you didn't notice, there was actually room between the pod and the turnbuckle now. Before there was no room. So I guess maybe that was to help out the cameramen. They can move around the chamber and help the superstars, as well. And like I said, the only really difference was they added some LED lights, because WWE is in love with LED lights right now. They made the pods a little smaller. It looked like, I could be wrong, but it looks like they made the pods a little smaller. The shape was more hexagonal than round. The top had the round opening, but the chamber itself was... Excuse me, the chamber itself was more like square hexagonal shaped. And like I said, the ringside area was padded. No, Laura is asking, what do you think they will do with Bray Wyatt now that he is champion? I've heard a couple of things. I've heard he goes into WrestleMania and he loses to Randy Orton. I've heard he can beat Randy Orton, but I have heard him losing more than I have heard him winning. I think it all really just depends on what plans they have past WrestleMania. Whether they want Orton as a champ for a certain reason, or if maybe they are testing out Bray Wyatt these next 6 weeks or so until WrestleMania, and then we'll see where they go. Daniel Hernandez says, will Luke Harper join in the championship match at WrestleMania? No. I don't think so. I don't think this is going to be another WrestleMania 20 situation, or what was it, WrestleMania 22, where we also had another triple threat, and the WrestleMania 22 triple threat was with Randy Orton. It was Kurt, Orton, and Mysterio. Oh, you guys seem to be very happy that Naomi won tonight. Bella Domina says, Team Naomi, make some noise. Clash of Phenomenal One, what is Tuesday's plan for Ambrose at Mania? What is the plan? That's what you're asking. What is the plan? I do not know. Honestly, I haven't heard anything about Ambrose or the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, if they do the same thing they did the last 2 years, then it'll probably be the ladder match. Because a lot of people were speculating that the ladder match at WrestleMania could be for the Cruiserweight title, but now we're hearing that it's going to be Neville taking on Austin Aries in a one-on-one match. So, and Alexa on Talking Smack did talk about how she's going to get her title back before Mania, but I kind of don't see it happening, but we'll see. I could see a big multi-women's match, maybe like a 5-way with Alexa, Naomi, Mickie, Becky, and Carmella, because they really pushed Carmella tonight as far as in the women's division. Like, every time there was a women's match, they said, what do you think? What was your reaction? And she didn't seem impressed by anything, and they tried to make not Naomi, but Carmella seem kind of relevant. Sarah Small says, I'm team Feel the Glow. I liked the new Feel the Glow shirt, where the whole shirt itself is glow-in-the-dark and neon. That's pretty cool. Let's see. DeAndre Dukes, do you think AJ Styles will dance Shane McMahon or get someone else, maybe say from NXT? The plan is, unfortunately, Shane right now. That's the only thing I've heard. AJ Styles WrestleMania is Shane McMahon, unfortunately. But let's start running down the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. So the kickoff show started, and we had Renee Young, Booker T, Sam Roberts, and Carmella on the panel. And for the whole time, you can tell Carmella didn't want to be there. She was on her cell phone. She was trying to get some information and stuff from James Ellsworth as he was running errands for her, and she eventually left because Ellsworth said they're going to watch the pay-per-view from the skybox. The funniest thing that happened all night, I don't know if you guys saw it, but we posted a GIF of this on Twitter. We also posted it on Instagram and Facebook, I believe. So JBL, when he comes down to the ring to do announcing, he has his cowboy hat on and everything, and he walks down the ramp about halfway, and then he starts doing some sort of jive or two-step kind of dance, and he pulls his hat off and does whatever, and he tripped. Excuse me. He tripped and fell. The camera guy tried to save him, and it was pretty funny. Like I said, if you go to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, we posted the video, a little short clip that WWE reposted from it. It was a good little laugh. It was just funny that they came back from a, commercial break, if you want to call it that, and Booker T was just busting up laughing, and my first thing was, is he laughing about the fans behind him because they looked like they were goofing around or something? No. He was laughing at the JBL thing. So the pre-show goes on for a little bit longer, and then we get the first match on the pre-show. Kurt Hawkins versus Mojo Rawley. It's a pretty quick match, and, pre-show match, no more than 5 minutes or so. Rawley pinned Hawkins with a tilt-a-whirl slam. It's an alright match. Hawkins didn't look bad. Mojo didn't look bad. It was what it was, but it didn't hurt either guy. When we see sometimes on the pre-show, they have random guys go out there and they just do a horrible match. But these guys actually did alright. We then got a video package before the show started talking about how the Elimination Chamber is a beauty, but it is brutal. The show then started and kicked off with Becky Lynch versus Mickie James. This was I guess you can call grudge match. And it was very heated. Started off with a collar and elbow tie-up. Mickie started working the arm of Becky, which is ironic because Lynch usually targets the arm for her disarmor. Lynch made a comeback, but James soon cut her off for a near fall after a seated senton. Moments later, Becky came back with a missile dropkick for a near fall. Mickie then delivered her Mick kick, but she could not capitalize. James countered Lynch's armbar submission finisher, only to get immediately rolled up by Lynch for the pinfall. So Becky Lynch defeated Mickie James. We then had a brief little, interview, if you want to call it that, with Dasha as she was up in the skybox with Carmella and James Ellsworth, and she was just like, so what do you think? And Carmella said, the wrong woman lost the match. And then she said, well, what about you, Mr. Ellsworth? And he said, what she said. It was pretty dumb every time they did do this. We then go on to the next match, and it was the Handicap 2-on-1 match. 2-on-1 Handicap match. It was Apollo Crews and Kalisto taking on Dolph Ziggler. Before the match could even start, Crews came down, made his entrance, got into the ring. As Kalisto was at the top of the ramp, Dolph came out and threw him into the, entrance LED boards, whatever you want to call it, the entranceway. The LED boards on the stage. The match then began with just Crews and Ziggler, as Ziggler ran down like he was trying to win this match early. He was on offense a lot. He was trying to go really quick. Ziggler targeted the neck and generally worked over Crews pretty tough. Like I said, he was trying to win this match quick because he knew that was his only option. And as long as Kalisto couldn't get back, he could have a shot. But eventually, Kalisto did limp his way down to the ring for a hot tag. Kalisto did a few high spots, then tagged Crews in so he could finish off Ziggler with a sit-down powerbomb. Though, after the match, Ziggler attacked Kalisto and left him laying. Ziggler then grabbed a chair and attacked Crews. Ziggler supposedly injured Crews' ankle with the famous Brian Pillman chair spot, where he stuck the ankle of Apollo Crews in the chair and then stomped on it. Daniel Bryan did said that he's worried about Apollo Crews, that he could be possibly injured, quote unquote injured, from that spot. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Merck says Alexa will win back at Mania. Curtis Hart says, do you think American Alpha will lose the tag titles at Mania? That's a tough one. I don't think so. I really don't. Marlon Khan says Alexa will not have a one-on-one match at Mania. Too many divas they need to fit in the card. That's exactly. I think there's going to be a 5-way, maybe a 6-way if they want to throw Natty in there. As we know, Nikki Bella is supposed to be in the mixed tag with John Cena, Miz, and Maurice, which we're gonna talk about that later. Let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat. All right. Sarah Small says, I'm loving Bray Wyatt. I'm glad he is the champ. Daniel Hernandez says, Mojo has a lot of potential to me. He does, but I think he tries too hard. You can tell in his matches that things are planned out, as we know, and he tries to do the spots, but he rushes his spots a lot. So I feel like he needs to slow down. He's, quote-unquote, too hype, but I think he can get there. He won't ever be world champ material, maybe not even IC-US champ material, but I think he's just going to be stuck in the Breezango spot for quite a while. Let's see. Bella Damania says, is that right? How about you get in the ring with Naomi and see what she's capable of? Snatch you bald. Yeah, she says she's going to snatch Alexa bald, and Alexa almost snatched her bald. But, let's see. Andre Duke says, do you think the Revival will debut on SmackDown before WrestleMania? No. The last plan I heard with the Revival was a triple threat tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championships with the Authors of Pain and DIY and, of course, the Revival at NXT TakeOver Orlando. So, Derek Boki, I think I said that. I hope I said that right. Bokick Why do you think they're not going to do Mickie versus Nikki? Simple. Nikki Bella needs to take some time off. She wants to take the time off right after WrestleMania, but she also isn't sure if she's going to come back. She's telling people she's not retiring, but there's a good chance she is, and we don't know when she'll be back. And her and Cena have always wanted to do a mixed tag match together, and this WrestleMania is really going to be their only opportunity to do so. So if they want to do the Nikki Bella John Cena match, that's when they're going to have to do it. War and Uprising, WR3D. Did you see Kazarian is in Bullet Club? He turned on Daniel Bryan. Not WWE, but breaking news. He turned on Daniels. Christopher Daniels. I saw something about that. I haven't actually been able to see it yet, but I was going to try and check that out either tonight or tomorrow. It is interesting they added Kazarian to Bullet Club, because that was one that I didn't see coming at all. Alex Che says, who could dethrone American Alpha, The Ascension, or Usos? That's a tough one. They played The Ascension up like they could be legit contenders, because on Talking Smack, Daniel Bryan even said it. This is the Ascension we've all been waiting to see, with the aggression and the fire and the momentum. So they could be pushing for the Ascension to do something good soon, but I don't know about titles, especially not from Alpha. Andres Sauceda, is SmackDown getting any call-ups, or is Raw getting them all? To be honest, I haven't heard any call-ups other than Joe. I thought they were going to call up Ty Dillinger to SmackDown. I thought Joe was going to come to SmackDown, but I thought maybe they'd call up Dillinger, and they didn't. Dillinger is still in a program with Eric Young and Sanity down there in NXT, so I don't know. But let's get back to talking Elimination Chamber. After we had the Handicap match, we then had the Tag Team Turmoil match. It was American Alpha putting their titles on the line against every other tag team on SmackDown, and the Gauntlet match started out with Rhino and Heath Slater taking on Fandango and Tyler Breeze, and it went to, in my opinion, I thought this first fall, if you want to call it that, our first match in the match, went actually kind of long. It was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, and eventually Heath Slater and Rhino did eliminate Breezango. The Von Villains then came out, and after only a couple minutes, Slater delivered a DDT on Aiden English and pinned him for the second elimination. The Usos then came out, and in quick fashion pretty much, they eliminated Slater and Rhino. Slater's the one that took the fall. Then American Alpha came out, and they had a good little brawl with the Usos on the ramp. And if you didn't notice, it looked like Jimmy Uso's gained some weight. I don't know if anybody else noticed. I had a couple people message me, and I got some text messages about it saying, hey, now we can tell the difference between the two Usos. But, I mean, it's whatever. It's a minor thing. But maybe that's why he didn't take his shirt off, but his brother did. I don't know. Anyway, so the Usos and American Alpha were brawling on the ramp before they actually got the match started. The Usos got the heat early on Chad Gable before Jason Jordan got the hot tag and eliminated the Usos. Gable did pin Jay, but then after, the Usos did try to beat down American Alpha. The Ascension then came out as the final competitors, and you would think, okay, if they're going to give it to the Ascension, they're going to do it this way, because it doesn't make American Alpha look bad. It doesn't make them look bad in the sense of they just got beat down by the Usos, so they're hurt. They're taken down. They're taken out. And they hit their finisher, the Fall of Man, early, like first thing. I think it was on Jason Jordan. Yes, Jason Jordan. And he didn't go down. 2 count. So I was like, oh, American Alpha's going to win it. And American Alpha did win it with grand amplitude. We then go on to have Nikki Bella versus Natalya, and this match really didn't accomplish anything. You would think this would be the blow-off to the feud. You would think Nikki would win, and that's that. This, I guess if you want to say it, this is the only thing the odds makers got wrong. Because it was essentially, well, not essentially, but it was a double count out. So Natty worked over Nikki throughout most of the match, with Natty as the ring general. Natty heelishly taunted Nikki's mother, who was sitting at ringside with Nikki's brother. Natty began taunting Nikki, and at one point, Nikki was laying on the ground. Natty looks at her and says, "You can't see me, bitch," with the, you can't see me hand gestures. This then fires up Nikki for a comeback, leading to several near falls. One high spot, Natty superplexed Nikki, and I don't know if it was that Natty didn't let go of the suplex, or if it was just she over-rotated herself. I don't know exactly, but she took a nasty bump off that, I guess you can say, superplex. Natty then applied the sharpshooter, only for Nikki to counter into what she is now calling the Fearless Lock. Yes, I was told tonight that this is now called the Fearless Lock. It's pretty much John Cena. No, it's not pretty much. It is. It's John Cena's STF. Like, she's going to use John Cena's move and then put a name on it, the Fearless Lock. How stupid. Like, am I the only one that thinks that's dumb, calling it the Fearless Lock, and it being John Cena's move? Her boyfriend, how she says that she doesn't get her success from John, but she just gets her moves from John. How long before we see her doing AA? Like, she's going to hit Maurice with that AA at WrestleMania. How much you want to bet? She hits the AA as John hits the AA on Miz at the same time? Oh my God. Anyways, the finish, or lack thereof a finish, came as the two were brawling at ringside, and they both got double counted out. For a cheap shot after the match, Natty sucker punched Nikki. As Natty was leaving, Nikki recovered and speared her on the ramp. Natty fled, and I guess this feud has to continue. I don't understand why, but I don't know. Let's see, you guys got some more questions. Merc is asking, how come SmackDown is still only 2 hours? They have enough wasted talent. Are you saying that it should be 3? I don't understand your question. Are you asking me why SmackDown hasn't moved to 3 hours? Because if that's the question, it'll ruin it. 3 hours have ruined Raw. I think the ratings, since they went 3 hours, have dropped almost 40% on Monday Night Raw. That's a huge number, if you think about it. So, Ryan Linka says, Nikki's is slightly different because she locks her hands around the neck and the leg, not just the neck. Oh, okay. I did not notice that. I'm going to have to go back and see. Dang, the replay is playing right now, but they're already past that spot. They're in the replay right now on the WWE Network is the Nikki Natty match, but I think they're past that spot. Anyways, I'm not too worried about her variation, but Supreme Breebree 3345, is there any update on the WWE United Kingdom roster? Actually, I believe it's either this Wednesday on NXT or next. I think it's this Wednesday. Tyler Bate is actually defending the United Kingdom Championship against Trent Seven. And from everything I was told from the tapings, this was the best live match people have seen in NXT in probably a year, as far as TV tapings at Full Sail. Now, not trying to add that in as far as with the takeovers as well, but as far as Full Sail TV tapings, they said Tyler Bate versus Trent Seven was the best match they've seen at Full Sail. And that says a lot, because they're both great. They used to be tag team partners. I think Trent Seven helped, what they say, he helped train Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate's only 19. But yeah, I'm hearing that, I think it's this Wednesday, that match is going to be on NXT. And if it's as good as people are saying, it's a can't-miss show. But after the Nikki Natty match, we then had Randy Orton versus Luke Harper. They started this match off a little slow. The pace started to pick up here and there with key high spots. Then they brought the crowd to their feet for the dramatic conclusion. They first built to Harper doing an elbow suicida to the outside. Orton later superplexed Harper, hitting 2 consecutive super kicks. Harper then hit 2 consecutive super kicks. He went for the cover on Orton, but only got a close near fall. Harper got another near fall with a sit-out power bomb. At that point, the crowd started chanting, "This is awesome," and this was a good match. Orton versus Harper was a really good match. Harper then started to wind up for his elbow, but he was kind of slow with it. And Orton leapt up, hit the RKO, and pinned Luke Harper. Like I said, if you want to go back and watch a good, planned-out, methodical match, Luke Harper versus Randy Orton from the Elimination Chamber was just that. Ryan Linka says, I think Bait 7 Dunn are all in a faction in the UK. I'm not sure. I know they're working, apparently, I don't remember what the company, the promotion is, but they're doing a Dream Tag Team Tournament, I guess. And Pete Dunne, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bate are taking on the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. So that's going to be cool. So after the Orton Harper, I can't shake this cough. I've been sick for a week. Anyways, after the Orton Harper match, we then had a backstage interview with Nikki Bella. Natalya obviously didn't want this feud to end, and she attacked Nikki. They started brawling backstage before, I guess it was the makeup table they hit, and some powder or something flew up at Maurice. So maybe Maurice gets mad, and that's where we set up Maurice and Nikki Bella wanting to fight at WrestleMania. I don't know. That's just one theory, one prediction that could possibly go on. Yet we don't know. I don't know how they're going to set up that match, because it's an odd match to set up, but it's the only option they have. What other couple do they have that can take on John Cena and Nikki Bella at WrestleMania? I mean, Uso and Naomi? No. What other couple do they have? Rusev and Lana would work, but they're on a different show. Like, that would be great. Rusev and Lana versus... Well, not great. It'd be good. Even though Lana's not that good. She's getting better, I've heard. I'm hearing she does getting better. She's training at the Performance Center. And she's doing more matches at NXT house shows. But as far as on the SmackDown brand goes, Nikki and John versus Miz and Maurice is the only way they can really go. But after that little tussle backstage with Naomi and well, one other thing about that, the Maurice thing. It kind of has to be some sort of a catalyst for this WrestleMania feud or match or whatever you want to call it, because if it wasn't, then what was the reason for Maurice to even be there? If they knew that that segment was going to happen at that time and they were going to brawl right there, they wouldn't have had her there. So, I don't know, but let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. All right. Ryan Lincoln says, Harper Orton match was awesome. It was. Supreme Bree 3345 says, hands down, Randy and Luke, perhaps best match of the night next to the Chamber. Oh, for sure. Ryan Lincoln's Mustache Mountain or something like that. Let's see. Marlon Khan says, Orton versus Harper was a classic. Pep rip Orton. But Orton helps out all these guys. Okay. Horace Gomez says, what was your favorite match? It was a tie between the Chamber and Orton Harper. Chamber match was a chamber match. But Orton Harper was a really good match. So maybe I could say I liked Orton Harper better. So, Will H is asking what's next for AJ Styles. Unfortunately, it looks like Shane McMahon. Andre Dukes, if given the opportunity, could Maurice wrestle again? Well, the plan is for her to wrestle at WrestleMania. I don't know if it's a one-off, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see, Desmond Hicks. SmackDown Live has been doing an awesome job with their pay-per-views, and Elimination Chamber was awesome. Oh, and which match was your favorite? Like I said, probably the Chamber. Like I said, the Chamber match was a Chamber match. You're going to like it because of what it is. But Orton Harper, I loved it. Supreme Bree 3345. Why did they throw out Miz and Maurice versus Dean and Renee? I don't know what the whole thing with that was. It was dropped as quickly as it started, and no one really knows anything about what's going on with that or what was going on with that. It was a very awkward situation. But we then had, back to Elimination Chamber talk, we had Alexa Bliss versus Naomi for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Let's see. The match, it was a match. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. They both hit their big moves. They both got to show off their skills, I guess you can say. And then at the end, Alexa went for her Twisted Bliss. Naomi got the knees up. Naomi then did her split-legged moonsault, got the pin. 1, 2, 3. Naomi, as most of you are excited about, new SmackDown Live Women's Champion. John Palo, who would you say Naomi would face at Mania? I think the title's going to be on the line in a multi-woman match. It's going to probably be Naomi, Alexa, Mickie, Becky, Carmella maybe, and maybe Natty. During the post-match interview that they did in the ring with Naomi, the crowd started chanting, "You deserve it." She was very thankful for having won and planned to remain champion heading into her hometown of Orlando for WrestleMania. The show-long skit with Ellsworth and Carmella unfortunately continued, and it apparently concluded with Ellsworth yelling at Dasha to leave their private box, their private skybox. But let's get back to the chat before we do the main event. Ryan Bergrandi has a good question. He says, is there an update for Seth Rollins? As of right now, the plan is for Rollins to go wrestle Triple H at Mania. I feel like he's going to be good. They're going to be very vague with his injury updates on Raw, at least until after Fastlane. So, yeah, I don't know what more to say other than they think he's good to go. Doctors said that he could possibly make it. Marlon Khan says, what is the deal with Emma? Hopefully she returns tomorrow. Everything they've been promoting says Emelina on Raw in Vegas. I hope she comes back tomorrow. It's been long awaited. It's been like, how long has it been? 40 weeks or more? Since they started these Emelina promos? Derek Bokey says, Shane is good. Why does everybody think it's a bad match? I think it will be solid. Did you see Survivor Series? Did you see him take that spear from Roman? That wasn't Roman's fault. Shane did not take that right. Shane almost concussed himself. People just want better for AJ. That's really what it is. WZRD Mike, does it bother you when you can hear Cena calling out all the moves? Not really. You hear it. I hear it all the time. If you really listen, you can hear it. Or if you watch the guys and girls' mouths, you notice it. Cena just is one of the ones that I guess he's a little louder with it, but it doesn't bother me. But Curtis Hart, what is the plan for the U.S. title? Right now the plan is to have Chris Jericho defend it against Sami Zayn at Fastlane. And then, my thinking, I don't know if this is true, is you have Jericho retain, and then maybe he defends it against Owens at WrestleMania, and Owens wins the U.S. title. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's just my prediction and how I would book it. But let's get back to Elimination Chamber talk. So we have the main event, the Elimination Chamber match. AJ Styles and John Cena started off the match. They pretty much picked up where they left off at Royal Rumble. They set the pace for the match, and They set a pretty fast pace. They battled back and forth, hitting some good big moves before the buzzer went off for the first pod to open. And it was Dean Ambrose. And he dashed out of there like a man on fire, like he was trying to get out of flames. Came in, climbed to the top of one of the pods, jumped off a flying elbow to John Cena, and that brought the "This is awesome" chants from the crowd. Now, like I said, if you guys didn't hear me at the beginning, the changes to the chamber were the pods seemed, well, I don't know if this was that the pods were smaller or that the chamber was a little wider, but now, unlike before, there was actually room for people to walk between the pods and the turnbuckles. The ringside areas, where it was just usually the steel grates, are now padded. So, and then there's a bunch of LED lights everywhere, because, WWE loves LED lights. But Ambrose came in, he hit a big dive off the top of one of the pods to John Cena. We then got the countdown, and out came Bray Wyatt. He squared off with Ambrose, Cena, Styles, and then Cena and Styles scaled the cage. Styles knocked Cena off the cage. On top of a pod, Ambrose met Styles and smashed him into the plexiglass portion of the structure. One high spot saw Ambrose powerbomb Wyatt, as Wyatt also suplexed Styles off the top rope. It was like a Tower of Doom. Next out came Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin again exited like a man bat out of hell. Started just beating down everybody. Cena then got him in the STFU. Corbin escaped very quickly. Picked up Cena for the end of days. Corbin proceeded to dominate everybody, making himself look strong. But then the 5 minutes were up, and Miz was the last guy to come out. Miz was very slow and ginger to come out. He did not want out with Baron Corbin a bat out of hell. As Corbin was standing in the middle of the ring waiting for Miz, Ambrose then rolled him up and pinned him. This then caused Baron Corbin to go insane. And beat down Dean Ambrose. He beat Dean Ambrose down so bad that all the Miz had to do was slip in the ring, jump on top of Ambrose, and 1, 2, 3, pinned Dean Ambrose. Miz then started cleaning house. He did his Daniel Bryan mockery gimmick. But then Cena cut him off eventually, gave him an attitude adjustment, and eliminated Miz. Miz was actually in the match less time than Baron Corbin. While it was then Wyatt, Cena, Styles. 3 guys left. That was it. Wyatt and Styles proceeded to double team John Cena. Wyatt would eventually turn on Styles. With their attention turned on each other, Cena made a comeback into a fury of his signature offense. He hit a double 5-knuckle shuffle, or if you want to call it a 10-knuckle shuffle. I guess you can call it that if that's what you want. And the crowd popped for it. They thought it was cool. Cena then climbed the top of one of the pods, pointed to the WrestleMania sign, and cross-bodied both Styles and Wyatt at the same time. Cena hoisted Wyatt for an AA. Wyatt got out of it, hit the sister Abigail, and pinned John Cena. This then ensuring a brand new WWE champion. Wyatt and Styles traded big moves and near falls there at the end of the match. Styles went for a springboard 450. Now it's interesting. I haven't heard this yet, but there was a lot of points in this match that the referee kept checking on AJ and his ribs. AJ was favoring the ribs a lot the second half of the match. And then when he did the 450, it took him a second before he can cover Bray because of the ribs. I don't know if he was just selling perfectly or if there was something going on. But the ref, I want to say, it was towards the end when it was just Wyatt, Cena, and Styles. The ref took a couple minutes to check on AJ. So I don't know if AJ did hurt himself or if he just sold it really well. But he went for the 450, went to pin Bray, and Bray kicked out. He then went for a phenomenal forearm, and AJ caught him in the Sister Abigail, Wyatt caught him in the Sister Abigail, pinned AJ Styles, becoming the new WWE Champion, and the crowd erupted. Randy Orton then appeared at the top of the ramp. Him and Wyatt had a stare down, and the show ended. It was good. I liked the chamber match. You can say Orton Harper was better as far as match-wise, but I liked it. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Christian Barron, I want your shirts. Well, all you got to do is go into the description below. There is a link that says, get your PWU t-shirt now. Click that link, and you can get it. And if you use the promo code CoolCat25, you will get 25% off your order. I don't know how much longer the promo code's going to go for. It says 2 hours, so you might as well get your shirts now. Like I said, tpublic.com. You can get all the Pro Wrestling Unlimited t-shirts, and I want to say in the next week, we're going to be unveiling some new t-shirts as well. Also, if you guys would like to help out us here on YouTube, you can hit the super chat button to donate to the show as well. It's right down there in the chat. I would appreciate that. Let's see what else you guys are saying here in the chat. Ryan Bergrani says, is there any update on the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Only that they're doing it. That's really the only thing I've heard, is that they're going to do it. Supreme 3345, what do you think of the chamber now compared to the old one? It's safer. The old chamber, when guys would slam on the outside, like on the floor, on the steel, you can tell it hurt. You can hear it. But now that it's padded, I mean, it's not too much different really other than the padding. Let's see. Andre Dukes, after seeing the chamber match, which is your favorite from 2002 to now? Oh, that's tough. I guess either the first one or the second one. The one that the original chamber that Shawn Michaels won, or you can do you can say the second one where it was Triple H, Randy Orton, I want to say Batista, Kevin Nash was in there, Chris Jericho was in there, and was it Goldberg? Oh, that's my mind is not helping me right now. I can't remember who the last man was in there. But anyways, one of the first two chamber matches were the best ones. I think you could say the first one because you didn't know what to expect. The participants didn't know what to expect, and so they were pretty much flying off the seat of their pants. Kevin Sakayan, do you think Cena is going to retain the championship? You mean regain? He'll regain it eventually, yes. Cena will regain the championship and break Ric Flair's record. But if you really think about it, if we go back in history and we look at Ric Flair and his career, I don't know the exact number, but I was told that Ric Flair is actually like a 20 to 21 time world champ. The 16 time thing is something they started in WCW. So, but if you look at his whole career, it's like a 20. So I don't know. Ryan Linkus, Goldberg spearing Jericho through the plexiglass is my favorite. Yes, it's a great spot. Eminem, who won the... I think you're asking who won the chamber match, and it was Bray Wyatt. Let's see. Alex Grossenbeck says, the crossbody need him in the ribs. Oh, okay. So you're saying that the ribs may not have been injured, but he got knocked in them. Okay, I could see that. Okay, because I could see it like when he did the crossbody off the top of the cell, Bray caught most of that. and AJ flew back. So it could have been he was supposed to help Bray catch him, but when the knee hit him, he couldn't. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. D. DeHog. Two people that had to wait for a few years to have the moment win in the same night. Naomi, Bray. Yeah, you can say that. Now here's the issue. Is Bray going to lose again at WrestleMania? Because it seems like it may happen. Eminem, how do you think this changes WrestleMania? It doesn't, because the plan, ever since before Royal Rumble, was Orton Wyatt. So it doesn't change anything, because it's been the plan for at least a month. Derek Bokek, I don't know how to say your name exactly, sorry. What's the plan for Baron Corbin at Mania? I mean, come on, give him a real push. I don't know. Intercontinental multi-man match? Eminem, how do you think this How do you think what changes? I don't get your question. Everything that happened tonight, we knew was going to happen, really, other than Naomi winning the championship. That's the only thing that I didn't hear weeks ago for WrestleMania, as far as Naomi being the champ. Everything else, Bray going in as champ, Orton winning the Rumble. I heard that the week of the Rumble, if not before. So, let's see. A lot of you guys are fixated on getting a triple threat at Mania with Harper, Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton, but I don't see that happening. Supreme Bree 3345 says, I feel like Bray will hold the title for 2 weeks like the tag titles, or I might just be overreacting. No, he's going to hold it for at least 6 weeks. He's going to hold it till at least WrestleMania. So, let's see. When are we going to see, Ryan Bergrandi says, when are we going to see Kurt Angle in the ring for a promo or something? Kurt said that they haven't talked to any. Kurt said in a recent interview, I want to say it was CBS Sports, that Triple H called him, told him, hey, we want you for the Hall of Fame. Do you accept? Kurt said, yes, I accept. And that was it. They didn't talk about anything else. Wrestling, in-ring promo, nothing. So we don't know if WWE even wants to do anything with Kurt other than Hall of Fame. Robert Cathy says, it sure wasn't Eric Bischoff's chamber matches. Oh no. Bischoff wanted guys to get hurt. Because the guys looked like they got hurt, then it made the match look better. Let's see. WZRD Mike. We need a TLC tag team title match at WrestleMania again. But with who? I don't see a reason. But I mean, they've been doing those ladder matches at WrestleMania and there was really no reason, so. Eminem says, will there be any new talent coming to WWE? There is the rumor of Kyle O'Reilly coming either in probably May. No, not May. March. That is unknown, though. Because really, Kyle O'Reilly is keeping all of his current plans hush-hush. Another thing there is talks about is Adam Cole. Adam Cole hasn't been happy with ROH, especially since, he was supposed to be done with them at the end of the year. He got sick last year, missed 4 months, so they tacked that time onto his contract. If he wants to leave, he can leave at the end of April, but he can't have any talks with anybody till after that. So if Adam Cole were to come, that's not going to be till at least May. Supreme Breeby 3345 says Samoa Joe's debut is a disaster. He should have gone to SmackDown and faced AJ. Well, why is it a disaster? Yes, it didn't go the way it was planned. Yes, Seth got hurt. But then last week on Raw, they pretty much made him look like a dominant force defeating Roman Reigns. So, Christian Barron, do you love me? Of course, I love all my followers. I love all of you. Native Star says, any news on Nakamura? Well, all we know right now is that they're storyline playing up that Nakamura's knee is hurt. He's not going to be on NXT for a couple of weeks. And then I don't know where they're going with the championship, because they're already starting to tease Bobby Roode and Cassius Ohno. So if they want to do Bobby and Cassius at Orlando, then where does that leave Nakamura? He still needs his rematch. So it's going to be interesting to see not what happens on the next couple weeks of NXT, but what happens at the next NXT TV tapings will tell us exactly what the plans are, because they should lead right up to Orlando, and then we'll go from there. Ryan Bergrandy, Tim, I know this is a random question, but do you watch Grimm's Toy Show? I used to, but I don't know what it is. I just stopped. I guess I started to lose a little interest. I don't know. I used to watch this stuff all the time, but I just started to lose interest, I guess. No real reason why. Maybe I just got more busy with my channel and my stuff, but yeah. Used to watch them, but I just haven't recently. Ryan Cathy says, Joe vs. AJ has been seen enough in TNA, whatever they want to call it. I think they can do it again in WWE. I don't see why not. Because think about it. How many people that watched WWE watched TNA? A good amount, yes. But there's a bigger amount that probably didn't. Let's see. Emmanuel Mitchell. No, he evaluated him on the last episode of NXT. Said he was fine. Yes, they said Nakamura was fine, but they're still playing up that the knee is hurt. But yes, it's all a work. So, M is asking, is there a way that there could be a John Cena Randy Orton storyline anytime in 2017? It's really unknown. We don't know any plans past WrestleMania other than the proposed Raw Women's Championship match at SummerSlam with Bayley and Sasha Banks. Other than that, I haven't heard anything post WrestleMania. Bella Domina, what happened to Paige? Does she still work for WWE? Paige, week before SummerSlam, failed a drug test, got suspended. Then, like a week after her suspension was up, she had supposedly failed another one, got suspended. She then had neck surgery, and so she's going to be out for a while. She then this week announced that, well, not really announced, but said that she's interested in doing MMA. And then also, The Rock announced that they're making a movie about Paige and her family, mainly about Paige. If you haven't seen the documentary called The Wrestlers, Fighting with My Family, I think that's what it's called, Fighting with My Family, it's about Paige. It's really about Paige and her brother Zach. How the family is a wrestling family. They're one of the more well-known families in England. And they run shows, and her mom says that, she's the star of the family. Her and her brother get a WWE tryout. They sign Paige on the spot, but they tell her brother, you need more muscle. Your body's not up to par. So 6 weeks go by. Paige leaves for America. Her brother starts training even harder, and he gets another tryout. He then gets used on SmackDown in a 3-on-1 handicap match at the Big Show. WWE tells him they're interested. A couple days later, he gets a phone call, and they say, the body's still not exactly where we want it. And they tell him that he just doesn't seem like he has the passion. Then we learn that a year prior, their older brother Roy had a WWE tryout, and WWE loved him. Like they were all but ready to sign him. And they found out he had a criminal background, and they passed. So that's where the movie's going to go. And they've already announced Florence Pugh is playing Paige. Can't remember who it is, but they announced the guy playing Zack. One of the characters from Game of Thrones is playing Paige's mother, and then they've already announced who's playing Paige's father as well. So filming for that movie is supposed to come end of February, early March. And yes, Ryan, the documentary is on YouTube. And yes, it is worth watching. Let's see, what else are you guys saying in the chat? I don't even know if I'm going to say this right, but I'm just going to say the letters F, G, H, A, B, C, D, E. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt will main event WrestleMania. No. It'll probably be the number 2 match on the card, but the main event, the final match, is set to be Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. Brock Lesnar and Goldberg is going to be the main focal point of WrestleMania, with the Universal title on the line. So, let's see. What else are you guys saying? Hardy's coming to WWE. It's unknown. Their contracts do expire at the end of February, and it really is going to be a couple different factors. I know they would prefer to stay with TNA because they get to do whatever they want. But an issue with that is Jeff Jarrett. Is he going to give them new contracts that have that same kind of freedom? We don't know. They're not going to have that same kind of freedom in WWE, but is WWE going to offer them money that can pull them away? So there's a lot of factors that can see them leaving TNA or staying with TNA. And even if they do leave TNA, that doesn't mean that they're coming to WWE. They can go to Ring of Honor. They can go to New Japan Pro Wrestling, or they can retire. They could go work for some other company. We don't know. So like I said, if the Hardys leave TNA, it doesn't mean, they're going to WWE. But let's see what else. Andre Dukes, is there any Raw superstars that you think should have been on SmackDown? Cesaro. They've used Cesaro well on Raw, but I think he could have been pushed even better on SmackDown. That's just my opinion. Derek Bokek, do they need a women's Royal Rumble? Probably not. I don't see it needed. That's like people asking if they need an NXT Rumble. No. They don't need to oversaturate with the same things in just different ways. It's like before when they used to do 3 Hell in a Cell matches in one night, or 2 Chamber matches in one night. It's just overkill. Supreme Breery 3345 says, I wonder if you know, but WrestleZone made a video stating that the WWE World Title match is going to be a triple threat. I have not seen that. Let me go check that out. Let's see what else are you guys saying in the chat while I look for this. Do you think part-timers like Cena and Goldberg showing up and getting title shots do you like? Or do you think they should take away too much from those? No. I know why they do it. Because they feel they're the guys that get the best reactions. They're the guys that are selling the tickets. So, I mean, if they're the guys that the fans are the most interested in, of course you're going to push them. That's just what makes sense, I guess. But, let's see. WrestleZone. But, let's see. Christian Barrow. Joe versus Braun Strowman. Who would win? Oh, that's a tough one. Probably Joe. I can see it being Joe. Daniel Hernandez. Is it time for Brock to go permanent? Do you think people are getting tired of the suplex gimmick? No. Brock's not going anywhere. He can't go back to MMA. At least not for another year. Excuse me. UFC has pulling him. They pulled him from the active roster on their website. So I think he's going to stay in WWE. He's got years on it. He's got a couple years, I think. I think his contract expires Mania 2018. That's the last I heard. I don't know if it's 100% true, but that's the last I heard. When do you think WWE will stop relying on part-timers and focus on the superstars they have now. When the part-timers are not outdrawing the superstars. So that's my opinion. Eminem, I feel that some superstars are unused well. What superstars do you think? Sami Zayn. I think he should be U.S. champ. Rusev, for sure, is not used well. But I keep being told, every time I ask, all my sources, I go, what's going on with Rusev? Why is Rusev doing this stuff with Enzo and Cass? Where is it going? What is the issue? And they just keep telling me, don't worry, there's plans for Rusev in the future that everybody's going to love. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with Rusev. But that's, if you can say anybody in WWE that's being underutilized the worst, it's going to be Rusev. But, yeah. Ryan Links says he's 50-50 on it. Oh, probably Joe Braun. Yeah. I can see why you could be 50-50 because Joe's the better wrestler. You would think Joe goes over, but Vince loves Braun Strowman. Ryan Bergrandy, if you had WWE creative control and be able to do anything in WWE, what would your champions be and why? Well, let's see. We have on Raw, Universal Champion. I'd keep it Kevin Owens. You have him keep that title for a little while. You can have some good matches with Finn. You can have some good matches with Seth, Owens and Joe. And you got the Raw Tag Champs. Probably go back to New Day. Because I love the New Day and they're entertaining. And, I mean, they're a great tag team. Raw Women's Champ, Charlotte, because she's the best woman they have there. Either Charlotte or Bayley. Cruiserweight Champion. I'd put it on Austin Aries. Then you got SmackDown. WWE Champion. I like that Bray Wyatt's the champ. I want to see what he can do as the top guy. But if I had to choose, I don't know. I'd maybe put it on AJ and have him feud with Bray. Then you got the SmackDown Tag Champs, American Alpha. They're just a legit tag team. You got the SmackDown Women's Championship, Alexa or Mickie. Alexa Bliss has been phenomenal as the champ. And then you have, what other championships do you have on SmackDown? The Intercontinental Championship. I'd maybe give it back to The Miz, because Miz was great as the Intercontinental Champion. Or if you really want to elevate Corbin, I'd put the IC title on Corbin. Oh, and on Raw, the US title. Oh, I said that. I said that earlier. I'd either put it on Rusev or Sami Zayn. Probably Rusev. Curtis Hart, could we see Mickie vs. Becky 2 at Mania? Maybe, but I doubt it. Because the Mania card's already pretty stacked. I mean, if you want to throw that on the undercard, on the pre-show. But I feel like there's going to be a multi-woman SmackDown Live Women's Championship match. And I think that's where both of them are going to be. Eminem, why do they do Fed versus Fed? What that I mean, WWE. Why don't they? Because WWE, they're in their own world. They don't want to help the competition. They don't want... I don't know how to explain this. They live in their own world. They want everything to be their way. And if they were working with a different company, they may not be able to get quote unquote their way. So, all right, Christian Barron, see ya, Tim. Have a good night. Thanks for being here. Ryan Links, same to ya. Have a good night. We'll see you next time. About to wrap it up here soon. Anyways, DeAndre Dukes, do you think the club should have stayed together? I think the club was a good faction. I think they could have done well if they had more time. I mean, there's a draft coming in end of June, early July. So we can see either AJ sent to Raw, which is one thing I have heard, or see Gallows and Anderson on SmackDown. But Derek Bokek says, last question. What brand do you think is more entertaining, Raw or SmackDown? I think Raw most of the time. This is a tough one. I want to say Raw, because unlike most, I like the 3 hours. I think SmackDown, maybe it's just the pacing of the show. I think it goes by way too fast, like you're watching, and then it's just over. Like, what? But, I don't know. I like Raw better, I would probably say. Robert Cathy says, best heel in wrestling, Miz. He's doing his best work. His promos have been, excuse the pun, awesome. Miz has been a great heel this year. Amazing. Supreme Bree 3345, do you think the club will lose the titles to Enzo and Cass at Mania? Well, if we look at last week on on Raw, it looks like they're going to do a triple threat at Fastlane with Gallows and Anderson. I always mess this up for some reason. I want to say, I don't know why, but when I go to say Sheamus and Cesaro, I say Shazamus for some reason. But Sheamus and Cesaro, and then Enzo and Cass, probably going to be a triple threat. Ryan Bagrandy is asking, do you think you will have a WWE ticket? You know, I want to, but here's the issue. My old computer, my good computer, died about 2 months ago. The computer I'm using now is not capable to have my PS4 hooked up to it. So unfortunately, I can't properly record from the WWE for my PS4 the way I would want to do for a universe mode. Now, if I want to just record random matches, like if I wanted to simulate tonight's Elimination Chamber, I can do that. I can live stream. But the way I want to do my WWE universe mode, my current computer is just not up to par. So unfortunately, because first off, this computer is super slow, takes me 3 times as long to make videos compared to my old computer, but hey, I can still get you guys videos, so it's not like I'm completely lost in the woods. But let's see, what else are you guys asking? Do you think SmackDown is too repetitive? Daniel Hernandez is asking. A little bit. They do the same matches a lot. That's true. Alex Che, who do you think could switch brands at the next WWE draft? I have heard AJ Styles. Ryan Burgrandy, you can live stream PS4 on Twitch. I could, but the 2K, the universe mode I have in my head, I wouldn't do live. Like, I could, but trust me, I want to add graphics and this, and I want to make it like you're watching Raw or SmackDown, not just regular universe mode. So unfortunately, I don't want to put anything out there that I'm so on. Like, I had an idea, and I was going to do universe mode and my career mode, and then my computer crapped out. Now I'm on an old backup laptop, so unfortunately. Plus, I don't understand, but when I do post, I guess, 2K17 or video game related stuff, it just, the interest from you guys, I don't know if it's you guys here in the chat or just everybody in general, it's not as there as I would want. But Eminem, yes, I can live stream off my PS4, which I think I'm going to do with the upcoming showcase mode, the Hall of Fame showcase. But like I said, as far as a universe mode, I couldn't do it the way I'd really want. I may, especially since you guys are asking for it, I am waiting for the WWE to release the Hall of Fame showcase 2K. Here's a little teaser for you guys. When they release the Legends pack or the Hall of Fame pack with the showcase mode, I will be live streaming that. But like I said, as far as a universe mode, I can't do it the way I'm envisioning it properly, just normal streaming it. So, but like I said, I may do more just random live. I'm trying to figure some stuff out. Like I said, I will live stream the new showcase, the Hall of Fame showcase mode. That's one thing for certain that I will be doing. We just need to get it released. Should be released here in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. But I think that's going to do it here for this edition of Pro Wrestling Unlimited. So I'm going to have to say good night. Have a great night. Have a great day tomorrow. We will be back bright and early with more news. And tomorrow is Monday Night Raw. We will be live again Friday for our normal weekly live show, where we will talk everything that went down this week in professional wrestling. And if you can't be at the live stream on Friday, but you have a question you want answered, you can either email me, pwunlimited@gmail.com, put PW Live question in the description, in the description header of the email, or you can ask the question on Twitter with the hashtag AskPWU, and I will try to get your questions asked on the air, and that's if you can't make it to the live stream. Like I said again, we will be live Friday morning. But remember, guys, you can always follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you haven't already, subscribe down below. And if you want to help support Pro Wrestling Unlimited, there is a link in the description to our TeePublic store, where you can get not just Pro Wrestling Unlimited t-shirts, but you can get Pro Wrestling Unlimited coffee mugs, Pro Wrestling Unlimited cell phone cases, notebooks, and a whole lot more. If you go and order one of our items in the next hour and a half, use the promo code COOLCAT25 to get 25% off your purchase. But again, that's going to do it for this edition of Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember to comment below, like and share this video, like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe here on YouTube.